Hey guys! Well, wait, there's a car going by, hold on. Hey guys, what's up? It's Caitlin here, and today, well honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet today. So here's the deal. I've decided to start a new series related to Criminal Minds. It is going to be me talking about each season. So each season will have its own video. So today I'm gonna start out, obviously, with season 1, and I have some things I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about some of my least favorite and favorite episodes from the season, talk about my favorite character, and some other random facts and things that I've observed in season 1. I don't exactly know how I'm going to continue this series because that's going to be entirely up to you guys. I want you guys to comment down below which aspects of this video you liked and which maybe you didn't like, or what things you would like me to talk about in these videos in the future from season 2 on. So if there's anything in particular you guys want to see in these videos, let me know. Anything that's in this video that you maybe didn't like, also let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this series as I talk about Criminal Minds by season, starting today with season 1. So overall, I have to say season 1 is by far one of the best seasons of Criminal Minds. That's my opinion, but I think a lot of people agree that early on seasons were just overall so good. And because I love this season so much, it made it really hard for me to rank the episodes because I literally have like ranking episodes 1 to 22 or 23 or whatever it is. It's not easy because there are so many good episodes in this season and I love it so much. So I thought let's start out with my favorite character from season 1. So overall, you guys know my favorite character in Criminal Minds is definitely Spencer Reid for so many reasons. But in season 1, I have to say, and I already said this in my unpopular opinions video, so a lot of you are going to disagree with me, but I think Gideon is the best character in season 1. Hands down. He's amazing. I know a lot of people think he's heartless and he's cold and, you know, people are mad that he abandoned Reid and all that stuff, but I just think he's so full of heart, his dedication to the cases, and just, you know, he's so intelligent and the way he's like really mysterious too, like you don't really know what's going through Jason Gideon's head at any given moment, and he just kind of does like what he feels is right and goes with his gut, and I love everything about him in that season in particular. Obviously we only had him for 2 seasons, but in season 1 I just really loved him, and I think he kind of was a big part in helping that show, you know, get up off the ground and become as popular as it is today, or was at least in the middle. But yeah, I think Jason Gideon is my favorite character from season 1. Let me know who your favorite character from season 1 is down in the comments. I also thought I'd tell you guys what I think the saddest moment from the season is, and for season 1, oh god, you guys. This moment is so sad, it's so hard for me to even talk about. All I gotta say, guys, just the title of the episode and you know what I'm going for. Riding the lightning. Riding the lightning, just at the end, when Gideon is like, I can save you right now. I can make this happen. I can protect you. And she's like, no, don't do it. I'm protecting my son. Let me die. That just gets me every time. Like, I cannot watch that episode without crying. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that episode is just... it's too much for my soul to handle. So I thought I'd also tell you guys my least favorite episodes from the season. Now with season 1, there are not that many episodes in this season that I don't really like, but there are a couple that are just kind of to me, and those 2 episodes are Machismo and Blood Hungry. Okay, if there is ever a point in which they are drinking blood, I want no part of it. And you know, it's not even that the episode is really bad, it's just like the cannibalism episodes, I can't do it. I hate them. I don't like watching them. Like, I literally don't like watching them. Like, I want to skip them, but I'm also someone who has to always watch things in order, so I do watch them anyway, whatever. I don't like that episode at all. It's disgusting. And then for Machismo, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. I probably am saying that wrong. I just find that episode to be not very memorable and kind of boring. You guys might disagree, but overall that episode, like, I barely can even remember that episode right now because it's just not that interesting. And that brings me to what I would probably consider the more interesting thing. What are my top 5 episodes from season 1? Guys, trying to pick 5 best episodes from season 1 was really difficult because I think there's a solid at least like 10 amazing episodes in this season, but I did rank them. I watched through season 1 and literally like ranked every episode, and these were the top 5. At number 5, I actually have Riding the Lightning. Not only is it really sad, but it's really good and really interesting, and I think, again, even though it's really sad, it has an ending that you don't expect, because the whole time you're watching the episode, you're you're expecting them to save her, because that's how almost every other episode ends, with a happy ending where people get saved. But in this episode, they just flip that around on you and you're not expecting it, and she's like, no, I want to die, and Gideon respects her wishes, and that's it. You know, it's I just think the case itself is so interesting, and then the way they ended it was so sad but so beautiful, you know? And that's why Ryan the Lightning is at number 5, just because I think it was so unique and so interesting, and I just really love that episode. At number 4, I have probably one of my favorite episodes of all time, and that is Derailed. The reason that I love this episode so much is because I love Reed, and Reed plays a big part in this episode. Oh my god, I've seen this episode so many freaking times, but I just love so much the part where Reed has to go onto the train and do that sleight of hand trick where he looks like he's actually pulling a chip out of the guy's arm. I think that's really like just such a high stakes moment in the show, and you're like, oh my god, is he gonna be okay? And then he can't get off the train, and you're like, oh my god, Reed is stuck on the train, what are we gonna do, you know? And then I just love how protective Morgan is over Reed in that whole part. He's like, you're not going alone. And when he takes off his vest and Morgan gets all upset about it, I love the dynamic between those two, and I think in that episode it really shows, and it's really great. I also love in Derailed the fact that that secondary unsub isn't actually there, it's all in his head. And the first time I watched it, honestly, I'm sorry if I'm stupid, but I really didn't pick up on it, and I think it's cool when you watch it through the second time. If you look in the security cameras, like, you know how the team is watching security cameras inside the train? Well, if you look at those shots, the secondary unsub is not actually in those shots, because he's not real, he doesn't exist. The only time you see him is when you're kind of looking at the scene from the point of view of the unsub, which is really intelligent, and the way that they filmed that and everything, I think it was really cool. And I think overall that episode is just also another really unique one because it takes place on a train, and it's like, you know, it's not like they're looking for an unsub who's killing people all around, like it's all right on a train, and it's so good. At number 3, actually I think it's really funny that this is my 3rd favorite from the season. That's Compulsion. Compulsion, if you don't remember, I believe it's the 2nd episode of the season, where there is the girl who is she's compulsive with the number 3, and everything she does is in 3s, and she's like, it's like satanic worship and everything. It's a little terrifying, and she's basically like setting things on fire and blowing people up, and she's doing some stuff. I think one of my favorite parts of that episode is when she's listing off the ingredients, where she says sugar 3 times. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Later, Reed specifically picks up on that. It's like, oh, when she listed off the ingredients of this, she said sugar 3 times, and she was working on the 3-body problem. And I think that was also really well done. Like, a lot of just like the way that they incorporated the 3s into everything in a really subtle kind of way was really cool. And I don't know why I just find that episode so interesting. I just always have and always will. My 2nd favorite episode from season 1 is The Fisher King. Yes! Of course this is only part 1 of The Fisher King, but wow, I think that episode is so cool. It is so freaking cool, because basically the team is sent on a scavenger hunt. Like, they're on a scavenger hunt with really high stakes, where a girl is being kept in like the basement / dungeon of this guy's house. I just think it's really interesting the way like he'll talk directly to them, like he knows who they are, and he, you know, targets them directly. I think those episodes are always interesting when the unsub specifically knows who the members of the BAU are that are trying to catch him, and then he like plays off of them directly. I think that is a really interesting element of this episode. I like the way it starts out because they're all kind of like on vacation or just getting away from the BAU for a while, and I love just seeing these characters in their home environments or whatever. They're just kind of out living their lives away from the BAU, because we don't see that much, but we get to see it at least for a little while in The Fisher King. Guys, season 1 is just too good. It's just too good. And that brings me to my number 1 favorite episode from season 1, and that would be LDSK, Long Distance Serial Killer. This is actually known to be one of the best episodes of Criminal Minds, and again, it's like, I don't even really know what it is about this episode. I just know that it's really good and really interesting and really fun to watch. I think this is another one where it's not this kind of traditional serial killer, because when it is like the traditional serial killer episodes, there's only so much they can do, and it's like you kind of can see what's coming and whatnot. But with LDSK, it's like very unique and very different different from a lot of the cases, especially the cases that they do nowadays. And the ending of that episode, when I watched it for the first time, I had no idea what was going on. When Hotch is like, help me beat this kid up, and then he starts kicking Reed, and I'm like, okay, obviously he doesn't mean anything he's saying, but I'm also not following where this is going. But then Reed takes the gun off of Hotch's ankle and shoots the unsub right in the head. They did such a great job with those high stakes, like really scary, high pressure moments in the early seasons, and that was one of them. And I just thought it was so well done. And the way they talk about how Reed couldn't pass his test earlier in that episode, and they're like, yeah, Reed like can't carry a gun because he doesn't know what he's doing, and then he does that, and you're just like, Reed. So yeah, that also is one of my favorite, or my favorite I should say, from season 1. One other little thing that I want to talk about regarding season 1 is the fact that in season 1 they introduced a storyline that they never went back to, and it is something that bothers me to this day, because when they bring it up in season 1, it's like they're gonna make a storyline out of it, but then they just kind of like never go back to it. They never talk about it again, they never mention it, and I've always wanted to know more about it. And that is Aaron Hotchner's past family life and his history of abuse.
You were just responding to what you learned, Vincent. When you grow up in an environment like that, an extremely abusive, violent household, it's not surprising that some people grow up to become killers.
Some people?
What's that?
You said some people grow up to become killers.
Some people grow up to catch them.
This, by the way, is in the episode Natural Born Killer, and basically what's happening in this little exchange is Hotch is saying, you know, you were abused and it makes sense that you grew up to be a killer. He's not saying like, oh, it's an excuse, but he's saying like it makes sense that some people who are abused grow up to become killers. And that unsub's like, what do you mean some people? And Hotch is like, some people grow up to catch them, implying that he was also abused as a child. They just kind of drop that bomb and then they never ever address it again, and that is a storyline that I wish we could revisit. Obviously Hotch isn't even in the show anymore, so we can't, but I just wish we could have dug a little deeper into Hotch's past, into his storyline, and to the abuse. I mean, I can see why they like don't feel that they need to dig any farther into that, but at the same time I think a lot of people were definitely really interested to learn more about what was going on with that whole situation. But you know, what are you gonna do? It's gone, it's past. So that's all that I'm gonna talk about regarding season 1 today. Again, just basically what I want you guys to do is let me know what in this video you liked and what other things you would prefer to see in the season 2 video, because I don't know what I'm doing yet, guys. I'm just kind of, this is an experiment to see, you know, what you guys like and what works and what doesn't, and I just would like to make a video for every season of Criminal Minds, and this was season 1. Again, this one's probably gonna be very different from the next one because they're all just gonna be different from one another, whatever. Like, also let me know if you even want me to continue this series. Maybe you didn't like the video at all and you're just like, don't continue with this series. That's okay too, guys. Like, if you want me to continue the series, let me know. Just let me know what you guys want is basically what I'm telling you, because I will just do whatever you guys want to see. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!